what did you find like working with Kojima and doing the Metal Gear games? Were they interesting experiences?
Oh, they were amazing experiences. I mean, I think the first one was done a long time ago. It was done 20 years ago. And I mean, it's really still that way today. I don't approach games like, oh, I'm going to do a big hit now. It's always just, here's a team, here's a script, here's a story, here's a person that you're going to become. Have fun. And it's always been that. I mean, I've known Dave Hayter since 1995. We met when he was Captain America on Spider-Man and I was Black Cat. And he's part of my extended family. He's been my bud forever. And that's how it was then, that's how it is now. So I don't see it any differently from in here. I think that's what it is. I have a very different experience in here than you guys have out there. You see it as a thing, and for me, it's just, I'm happy to be working.
Obviously, you've had loads of huge parts, but I suppose a lot will remember you as the female voice of Commander Shepard in Mass Effect. What was it like? Obviously, did you expect the franchise to be as big as it was?
No.
And what was your favourite experiences from working on this trilogy?
Oh man, I had so many amazing experiences working on Mass Effect. Gosh, it's funny. I've gone in to do games that I didn't know anything about, didn't know they were going to become anything, which was Mass Effect for me. I was like, oh good, here's one, and there might be, I didn't even know about there being more. It's like, oh, here's a game. Great, it's really cool. The writing's amazing, and the world is incredible, and the level of care and detail, it's BioWare. It's a great experience. And then I've done games where, I've gotten flown to other cities for performance capture and they spent a ton of money on these productions that never saw the light of day. So you don't know. There's no way to know. And Mass Effect was incredible. It was one of my favorite things about it was watching the evolution of voice acting during the life of that trilogy, because as the visuals have evolved and their ability to render characters has evolved, our acting can actually move closer and closer to the straight acting of film and TV. And that's one of my favorite things. That's my favorite place to be, is in that zone. So experiencing that has just, they say thought registers on camera, and now we're getting to the point where thought registers on the mic. And you could just be there and live it. And I think some of the ending stuff in Mass Effect 3 were some of my favorite recording moments. Yeah.
Could you give us a line from your favourite line from Mass Effect, if possible?
Oh, yeah. Tell your friends we're coming for them.
Very nice. What's next? Is there any big games that you're working on?
Oh my gosh,
to talk about,
yes. There's some great, couple of really great cartoon series, and some really great game stuff. I cannot talk about it yet, but let's see. Hold on. In a few months, you will know more.
Okay.
That's all I can say. That's all I can say. I'm very excited. Yeah.
And you obviously talked about how voice acting is becoming more physical. It's more just acting now.
It's always, listen, let me clarify this, because that's my least favorite question when somebody says, do you act too? I have to restrain myself. Voice acting is nothing but acting. It's a different style of acting, but it's coming closer and closer to the traditional acting you're thinking of. Yes.
Because we talked to Christopher Judge, who's obviously played Kratos recently,
Yep.
and he was saying he was extremely shocked at how physical it was, because obviously you're getting on the low cap whilst you're doing the voice acting.
Yep.
He said if anything, it's harder than film and TV. Is that something you'd agree with?
I would agree with that 1,000%. Yeah, mocap is this fast, or performance capture as they're calling it now, is this fast. I was talking to Elias Toufexis. They refer to him as the Canadian Andy Serkis. He's an amazing motion, actor, performance capture person. And we were sort of breaking down that, the movement is almost like children's theater, but the voice is like film and TV. But your face also has to be a little bit slightly exaggerated sometimes. And then it depends on the tone. If I'm doing something like Knack, which is a game where it was a little more off the cuff, slightly broader than doing something like Halo. When I worked on Halo, that's a very different feel versus, God of War or other things. So,
obviously, I've mentioned Femshep, but who's been like your favourite character to voice in
it's that. Honestly, that's an impossible choice. But I will say that my favorite thing is the sheer variety of roles I've been able to play, from Commander Shepard to Cinderella to Princess Morbucks, to Naomi Hunter to the things I have coming out. It's just, I mean, just that diversity. You don't get that. That's the one thing it's very difficult to get in on-camera, because in on-camera, when I'm working there, I'm invoking visual stereotypes, and I fall into a particular socioeconomic stereotype based on how I look. It probably has nothing to do with how I actually grew up, but it's what my face represents, so I'm in that box, you know. And then age-wise, there's a certain limitation on that. Gender-wise, I'm looking to pound that to the ground, but that'll take time.
Obviously, you mentioned Cinderella. Are you reprising her in Kingdom Hearts 3? Or?
I don't speak of anything I've done that's not been released.
Okay,
That's how I try to stay out of trouble.
Women in gaming, obviously, you're a very, very prolific actor in the whole gaming realm. Do you think there's been a shift from the voices that you might have done 10 so years ago compared to what there is now? Have women's roles developed, do you think? Or?
Yes, I've definitely seen women's roles develop. There are a lot more of them. We're not just the arm piece anymore. We're taken seriously as the lead. We're taken seriously in action roles. We're being stuck into gender boxes less and less. And I'd like to see the same for men. I'd like to see things open up for them. You know, more vulnerable characters, more, just a wider variety instead of them. They're in a box as well. And it's time for all of us to throw off the box and get out there. But I've seen a significant change, a huge change. Really the greater number of games. And it's, you know, my favorite thing is breaking down a barrier. So that's been one of the great joys of my career, to do that.
In terms of like just a terrible moment of voice acting, like has there ever been a script that you've had to read and it's just been the worst line you've ever delivered?
You know, there have been a few difficult ones, but my job is to be a problem solver, and if I see something that my initial reaction is unfavorable to, I immediately shut that down, because my job is, how do I make it work? How do I make that writer fly? How do I make that director fly? How do I make that project fly from my little corner? That's my job. But yeah, I've had some challenge. We all have challenging experiences, but I mean, come on. It's not a job you can complain about.
And would you be willing to just do a few of your voices to the camera, if possible?
Sure. What do you want?
Whatever one's your favourite.
Let's see. There's Princess Morbucks is always a fun one.
Daddy, I want to be a Powerpuff Girl, but they said I couldn't. They said I couldn't.
And see, Princess Morbucks. And then we have, I don't know if I'm allowed to do Cinderella, but
Oh, that clock. Go on. Get up, you say. Yes, stepmother.
I love her. And we've already done Shepard. Let's see. It's Basta Lashan, which I hesitate to do here, because she's British. But I can say that I am my own grandmother, because I'm also Satile. Who else? I think that's my dog and pony show for now.
That's fine. Thank you very much for doing that.
Thank you.